Hey guys, I'm back. Like I said I would be talking about anxiety today. And what a coincidence is yesterday and today I've been pretty anxious. But the good thing is I sort of know how to handle it now and I don't let it get me more anxious or panic, which will have to be another video. Because most of us who suffer from anxiety also suffer from panic attacks. Maybe not all the time, but some of the time. And also depression. You know, it kind of all goes hand in hand. Any type of mental illness, if you will. I don't have a problem calling it an illness. Some people kind of shy away from calling it an illness, but that's what it is. I mean, everything that I've researched and everything that I go through and doctors that I've spoken to, it is a very true and real illness. And unless you actually experience it, it's really, really difficult to understand and to help friends and family who have it. So I am by no means a doctor, so please, consult a doctor. Absolutely. I did right away. And in terms of medication, there's no right or wrong answer to that either. It's either, some people don't want to take it. They're hesitant for many different reasons. They're hesitant. It feels like almost like you're giving up by taking medicine, which really, in hindsight, after many years, it's not giving up. It's empowering yourself to do better. Whether that's medication or whether it's some of these other strategies, it doesn't matter. But you are going to be the one to take control of your anxiety. Nobody can do it for you, unfortunately. So some of the things that I've done, and like I said, I pretty much have it under control. But what I suffer is generalized anxiety, which is what I think most people who have anxiety suffer from. It means in general, just like it sounds. There might not be a trigger. You might have things that would set you up to be anxious, but not really a trigger like you would if you're having a panic attack, let's say. So for me, it's always been whenever I'm overwhelmed, meaning like if I have a lot of things going on, even if they're not stressful things, just a lot of things to do. Oh, I got a little ding. I get overwhelmed easy and it makes me anxious. So I get this nervous sort of feeling in my stomach, and that's my anxiety. And sometimes it lasts for days. Sometimes it used to last maybe weeks. Before I understood it, I felt ill, like I can't explain it other than you feel nervous. And there's all different levels. I mean, you could have a really bad anxiety day. You can have a really good day where maybe you just feel off, but I feel it all day long. And what I do with the strategies that I already talked about in the first video, like meaning the positivity strategies, those all help. And that's probably why I no longer panic when I have a bad day or two, or even 3 in a row, because I know what causes it. Over time, you learn that. And when you're first starting out, if you're younger, I actually didn't experience true anxiety until after college, thankfully. I had other issues in high school, which I'll make a video on that too. But my true anxiety really did not come about until after I graduated college and was already working in what I chose as my profession at that time, which I no longer do. Which was stressful, and it required a lot of hours and a lot of time. It paid really well, so I thought it was a great thing, but I wasn't happy. And so I've moved on since then. And my anxiety and in turn panic has cost me things, meaning when I was at my worst, which probably was about 15 years ago. I mean, I was in my early 20s. And I didn't understand what was happening, and I was panicking. I thought I was going crazy. Which, like I said, that deserves a whole video unto itself. So that probably will be next week because I want to help you guys. Like, not next week. I'm sorry, next video. I don't know when it will be. It could even be tomorrow. I want to help you guys like as soon as I can, because if someone's really suffering from anxiety and panic right now and asks me to do a video, I want to be like, well, wait till next week until I feel like talking about panic. I'm like, no. I'll try to help you a little bit sooner than that, but unfortunately I do want to keep them like, under 10 minutes, because nobody wants to listen to me talk for more than that, I promise. So some of the things that I experience, my triggers, if you will, or being overwhelmed, being stressed, housework, because I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I wish somebody would just magically come and help me, but nobody helps me in the house. My husband takes really good care of the kids, which should give me more time to do it, but I don't want to do it. I hate it like with a passion, if I haven't made that clear. Okay, I love to cook and feed them, no problem there. And I do eventually clean and do the laundry, but usually it is at the last possible moment when either we are out of underwear and socks or some situation that I am forced to do it. Otherwise, I will procrastinate forever. So when I have that building up and I see it piling up, it totally causes me to be anxious. It doesn't make me go do it. I just sit there and think about how anxious I am about doing it. And that's how anxiety works. If you don't talk yourself out of it, it just continues to fester, and you convince yourself to be more anxious and more anxious, and it's a negative cycle. I also find that it's hormonal. For me and some of my friends that I've talked with, and I don't mean just girls and the menstrual cycle. Yes, that is absolutely true for me. The week before my menstrual cycle, I am completely anxious and I used to panic. But for men too, because I don't know, they don't have a menstrual cycle. I don't know what kind of cycle they have, but they have a cycle for sure, because there is definitely something going on hormonally with them as well. And so if you're a man, you can be anxious and you can have panic attacks during these hormonal periods. I'm not a doctor, like I said, nor a scientist, but this is my experience. Also, it's dietary. So when I eat, let's say, for example, I went to McDonald's for 3 meals a day for a week. I can guarantee you, I would even bet $1 million that at the end of that week, I would be having extreme anxiety. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean I eat perfect and I don't have junk food and I don't have desserts throughout the week. But I have to balance it. And I also need to exercise, which I don't do. And this is one of the reasons why I think I've been having some anxiety. Plus, I started a new job, and plus, I have been very overwhelmed with some of the housework and stuff like that. So, what I do when I'm anxious, one of the greatest things that someone told me, I believe someone told me and then pointed me in the direction of a book and websites, it's called using the pause. Okay, so when you're really anxious and your mind is just swirling, you say to yourself, if you have to, say it out loud, say stop or pause, stop the thinking, take a deep breath, and say, does this really matter in the scheme of life? 9 out of 10 times, probably more, it does not matter. It is not going to make a difference in the long run. So either a few things could happen. One would be nice, you could just stop worrying about it. Well, we know you can't just say stop worrying and it goes away, for the most part. Okay? But when you think about it and you use your positive thinking and some of the other things that I pointed out, and you read positivity, and you go on Twitter and you get rid of those nasty kids on Twitter. They're mean and they're hurtful, and you don't want to read that. Block them. That's why they have a block feature. I should have mentioned this in the first video. And I don't block someone the first time they say something negative, because people have bad days, and I understand that. But when I do block is when people are being vicious and hateful for a reason. I don't have time for that. I don't want to read it. So block them off your timeline, even if they're family. I've blocked some family. So there we go. Okay? So we put it all in perspective. At the end of the day, you are the only one who can make these decisions, and you are the only one who can get you out of it. Friends help tremendously, especially friends that have gone through it and experienced it. Like I am so grateful to have, especially two that I talk to on a daily basis, who unfortunately live in different parts of the country. We talk about this, and we've gone through it, and we understand. When you've experienced it, the level of understanding that you can have for it is so much greater. So latch onto someone online if you don't feel comfortable with someone in your life. It's still hush-hush a lot of times in real life. But online, there's lots of people you can talk to. Say, hey, did this ever happen to you? This makes absolutely no sense. And sure enough, I can bet it has happened. So you talk to each other and you realize you put things in perspective. Sorry, my screensaver just shut off on me. So I will also do a separate video on panic, probably maybe in the next 2 or 3 days. Um, and panic is very strange. It does not make sense. And some of the things that set my panic off are like absurd now, but they would still set me off today. So I'm not saying that they're not real. So we'll do that. But just try to keep things in perspective. I'm not saying like I haven't had bad days. Like I said, this is my third bad day in a row. And by bad nowadays means just this upset stomach feeling. I woke up with a headache. I clench my jaw a lot because of anxiety. And now I actually have to get a night guard of some sort made because I'm actually damaging my teeth by clenching my jaw at night. You don't realize you're doing that, but you're anxious. You have to find ways to relax. Take baths, read books, talk to friends, even texting. I don't like to talk on the phone like at all. So I text or I tweet and DM and all that jazz to my friends who live all across the country. So I'm very fortunate in that way. And hopefully, maybe there's someone in your family that has experienced this. And because I do believe it's generational and inherited, that's also a separate video, probably. Um, but anyway, I didn't want to leave you hanging. For those of you who are struggling, like right now and today, I didn't want to leave you with just, hey, read a book and all your anxiety will go away, because that's not going to happen. It takes a lot of work and a lot of determination. But you can do it. And like I said, I've been feeling it, gosh, I don't even know how long it's been, maybe 16 years now. So anyway, once again, please let me know if you like this video, what kind of videos you want to see. Like I said, I have one planned for panic. I have another planned probably for depression, how to help friends in these situations, how to help yourself. Also, tons of happiness. It's not all negativity. In my life and in anybody's life, you can find happiness. And I'll give you some of my hints how to do that. But anything else, just let me know what you think. And if this is helpful, I'd like to know, because I love to help you. And that's the whole point of me even coming online and doing these videos. Now I have rambled way too much and too long, about double what I wanted to speak to. But I will sign off for now, so I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I will probably touch base with you in 2 or 3 days, if that's okay with you. Make sure you subscribe, because I will tweet it out, and I will Facebook it and all that, but when it hits your subscription box, it's a lot easier to see when I have a message. Alright, take care, and good luck on this journey.